few weeks ago, I did a tier list of all of the new commanders from March of the Machine, and I think the one that I came away with liking the most was Elenda and Azor. And as much as I like this card, I don't think I'm actually going to build it in paper because it is too similar to my Quasar deck that I already have. But this seemed like a more aggressive version of the deck, and it allowed for some different cards to come into the mix, so I wanted to build around it. In the near future, we are starting a Magic Online series to play Commander, and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to give this deck a try, so I went ahead and I brewed a deck around it, and then lo and behold, it's not going to be available on Magic Online. A moment of respect for Elenda and Azor. Now, unfortunately, this is a pretty common thing on Magic Online, specifically for the Commander-only cards that sometimes show up in the precons or show up in the set boosters. For instance, in the first episode of our Magic Online Commander show, Steven is going to be playing his Werewolf deck, and one of his favorite cards is not available on Magic Online. Now, to give credit where credit is due, they are starting to get better about that. Some of the precons have ended up on Magic Online, and they have went ahead and added some of the other Commander only cards on there, but unfortunately it is still not a one-for-one experience. Now, hearing all of that, you might be thinking, well, Morgan, why would I play Magic Online? Okay, well, let me tell you. First of all, even though Magic Online is kind of dated, it is kind of ugly, and it doesn't have every Commander only card ever made, it is the only digital way to play Commander. Now, you could argue that Spell Table is that as well, but Spell Table isn't the same thing, right? Because you have to have the extra setup for the webcam, a space to do it. You have to just play with the decks you already have. It just requires a lot of extra setup as opposed to just having Magic Online. And something that I think is undervalued is the ruling system. On Magic Online, yeah, there are the occasional bugs with specific cards, but in general, it just keeps track of rulings for you. Whereas if you're just playing in paper or on Spell Table, if you have a ruling question, you might not be able to get it right. You might end up playing it out wrong. Whereas on Magic Online, it's probably going to take care of that for you. The other big thing is that it is just way cheaper to play on Magic Online. I have 20-something Commander decks, and I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, and that gets really expensive to build them, but it gets expensive to upkeep them and keep them updated and keep them in top playing condition. Whereas on Magic Online, almost all cards are a fraction of the price. A lot of my decks fall in the like $300 to $400 category when it's all said and done, and you can build those decks one for one on Magic Online for like $10. Now, I do think that your favorite decks, you do need to just keep them in paper because then you can play them with your friends and stuff. But for a lot of these other decks that maybe they're similar to decks you already have and you don't need to then build it again on paper, but you're still kind of curious on how it plays, Magic Online is a great opportunity to try that out. You can also borrow cards on Magic Online through places like Card Hoarder, which I haven't done too much, but it is an option as well if you just want to try a deck out before dedicating completely to it. And then our friend Preston, who's been on the channel quite a bit, he also does a thing where before he builds a deck in paper, he builds it on Magic Online because it's so much cheaper, just to test it out and to make sure that the exact deck list he has is for sure the one he wants to settle on, which is a pretty good idea. Magic Online does also have new ownership with Daybreak Games, and they seem to be handling things pretty well, so I'm not ready to give up hope. I do think that a lot of these Commander-only cards are eventually going to get added on, or in the future, whenever they make new ones, they will end up on there. But in the meantime, it is kind of sad that a lot of them don't end up on there. And I guess that's kind of my takeaway from this video, is that you should give Magic Online a try, but it is sad that these Commander-only cards aren't on there, so, you know, it'd be cool if we get more of those in the future. All right, quick video today. I'll see you guys next week with a new video. And like I said, we have a Commander Magic Online series coming up very soon. If you either want to be in that or send in your deck to get played on the show, you can join our Discord by becoming a patron and get involved there. I'll see you guys later.